Welcome back into the fantastic world of Oblivion. That is Greythroat. He just sits and relaxes and reads a book about vampires, as we did in the last episode. And I wasn't done with the bookshelf, so let's see if there are any other books. Wait, did we steal the book? It isn't there anymore. Maybe that is because Greythroat took it. I certainly didn't take it. It isn't in my inventory. Oh, you took the book, huh? Interesting. Mysticism. I haven't read that one either. How long is it? 6. The unfathomable voyage of by Tetronia's lore. Mysticism is the school of sorcery least understood by the magical community and the most difficult to explain to novice mages. The spell effects commonly ascribed to the school of mysticism are as extravagantly disparate as Soul Trap, the creation of a cell that would hold a victim's spirit after death, to telekinesis, the manipulation of objects at a distance. But these effects are simply that, effects. The sorcery behind them is veiled in a mystery that goes back to the oldest civilizations of Tamriel, and perhaps beyond. Is teleportation and levitation one of them? The psychics of the Isle of Artaeum have a different term for mysticism, the old way. The phrase becomes bogged in semantic quagmire because the old way also refers to the religion and customs of the psychics, which may or may not be part of the magic of mysticism. There are few mages who devote their lives to the study of mysticism. The other schools are far more predictable and ascertainable. Mysticism seems to derive power from its conundrums and paradoxes. The act of experimentation, no matter how objectively implemented, can influence magicka by its very existence. Therefore, the mystic mage must consign himself to finding dependable patterns within a roiling imbroglio of energy. What the hell is that? The time it takes him to devise an enchantment with a consistent trigger and result, his peers in the other schools may have researched and documented dozens of new spells and effects. The mystic mage must thus be a patient and relatively uncompetitive philosopher. For centuries, mostly during the Second Era, scholarly journals published theory after theory about the aspect or aspects of magicka lumped together under mysticism. In the Mages Guild tradition of finding answers to all things, respected researchers suggested that mysticism's penultimate energy source was the Aetherius itself, or else Daedric beings of unimaginable power. Either rationale would explain the seemingly random figurations of mysticism. Some even venture that mysticism arose from the unused elements of successfully or even unsuccessfully cast spells. Discussion within the order of psychics after Artaeum's reappearance has led some scholars to postulate that mysticism is less spiritual in nature as we originally supposed, and that either the intellect or the emotional state of the believer is sufficient to influence its energy configuration and flow. None of these explanations is truly satisfactory taken by itself. For the beginning student of mysticism, it is best simply to learn the patterns distinguishable in the maelstrom of centuries past. The more patterns are discovered, the clearer the remaining ones become, until, of course, they change, for inevitably they have to, and then the journey begins anew. Interesting school of science. Although it is mage stuff, not really. I guess it is science. Anything else? A Life of Uriel. I think I've read that one. Yeah, I think I did. Thieves, Spellcraft, Akavir, Gods and Worship. Yeah. What is that though? Wait. Alright, creepy vampire hunters or vampires themselves. I'm leaving if I... Ooh, just crap.
Anything you require, you're welcome to it. Is there more I can help you with?
No, not right now. Thank you.
Who knows when...
Where's the bodyguard? Over here.
I'm Sylvan Dolavast.
He doesn't want to let in on more information right now. Alright, let's step us outside. And let's take a look at that quest. Yeah, Order of the Virtuous Blood. To locate Roland Genseric, Serador suggested I search his home, which is also here in the Temple District. I know where it is, but I'm kind of afraid that we have to break in again. Now, the last time we tried to do that with Agramir's house, I ended up being jailed twice. So that doesn't give me good hope that it works now. But then again, I was seen when I did that.
What? Yes?
What are you doing here, outlaw?
You too.
Oh, he's in a very obvious place where I will be seen by guards. This is it. No, it ain't. It's one of those, right? Genseric. Over here. Right in the field of vision of those annoying guards. One is patrolling, always two in front of a door. Seems kind of, I don't know, excessive. That's Hagar. Did I miss it? Maybe this is it? What the hell? Stantis Verit? Wait. Ah, it's over there. Oh, that's actually better. Because it will be on the other side?
Oh, it's you again.
Yeah, I'm helping you, so be a little more kind to me. Where the hell am I going? Oh.
Missing citizen?
Now I understand. It's to the left. Well, it's better than over here. Oh, but then again... Oh, no guards over there. Alright. Alright. Am I seen? No, I don't think so. So... Let's do it. If I get arrested, I might reload. I'm not sure what we're looking for. Clues. Alright. Nobody saw me. I've arrived at Roland Genseric's house. I should begin to search the place for any clues as to his whereabouts. Alright, let's start over here. The chest is hard. Let's leave it. What is this? Shopping list? Handbill? And you need protecting wear armor made at the best defense will keep you safe from the sharpest blades. That's not a clue. What about apples, onions, lard, cheese, milk? Doesn't look very vampiric. What is this? A note and a book. Love letter from Ralphina. Aha. After searching Roland's home, I found a letter written to Roland from his girlfriend. It mentions a cabin where the two would meet. It's located east of the Imperial City in the Great Forest. I think this may be where Roland could be hiding. I should head out there immediately before he has a chance to escape. Well, whoa. Immediately. I'll take my sweet time. Let's read the note first. My dearest Roland, I cannot wait for you to return from Breville. My heart swells with joy as I know we will once again soon be together. I yearn for you every night that I look beside me in my bed and you are not there. How I wish I could have taken the journey with you, but I understand that these are dangerous times and I would only slow you down. When you return, perhaps we should get away from the chaos of the Imperial City. Let's go back to that cabin in the woods, the one where you said we would always be safe from the world. The one where you took me in your arms and sang songs of moonlight and happiness. The one where you said I love you. Hurry, my love, Ralphina. It doesn't really sound like vampires to me. Let's take it. And let's look at that book. Avar the Stone Singer. Ooh, quite long. So be prepared for story time. Sit quietly, child, and listen, for the story I tell you is a story of the ages. But what is it, grandfather? Is it the story of heroes and beasts? The grandfather looked patiently at the child. He was growing into a fine boy. Soon he would see the value in the stories, the lessons that were taught to each generation. Just listen, child, let the story take root in your heart. In a time before now, long before now, when the Skal were new, there was peace in the land. The sun was hot and the crops grew long, and the people were happy in the peace that the Allmaker provided. But the Skal grew complacent and lazy, and they took for granted the lands and all the gifts the Allmaker had given them. They forgot or chose not to remember that the adversary is always watching, and that he delights in tormenting the Allmaker and his chosen people, and so it was that the adversary came to be among the Skal. The adversary has many aspects. He appears in the unholy beasts and the incurable plague. At the end of seasons, we will know him as Thartak, the world devourer. But in these ages he came to be known as the Greedy Man. The Greedy Man, that is what we call him, for to speak his name would certainly bring ruin on the people. Lived among the Skal for many months. Perhaps he was once just a man, but when the adversary entered into him, he became the Greedy Man, and that is how he is remembered. It came to be one day that the powers of the Skal left them, the strength left the arms of the warriors, and the shaman could no longer summon the beasts to their side. The elders thought that surely the Allmaker was displeased, and some suggested that the Allmaker had left them forever. It was then that the Greedy Man appeared to them and spoke. You of the Skal have grown fat and lazy. I have stolen the gifts of your Allmaker. I have stolen the oceans, so you will forever know thirst. I have stolen the lands and the trees and the sun, so your crops will wither and die. I have stolen the beasts, so you will go hungry. And I have stolen the winds, so you will live without the spirit of the Allmaker. And until one of you can reclaim these gifts, the Skal will live in misery and despair. For I am the Greedy Man, and that is my nature. And the Greedy Man disappeared. The members of the Skal spoke for many days and nights. They knew that one of them must retrieve the gifts of the Allmaker, but they could not decide who it should be. I cannot go, said the elder, for I must stay to lead the Skal and tell our people what is the law. I cannot go, said the warrior, for I must protect the Skal. My sword will be needed in case the Greedy Man reappears. I cannot go, said the shaman, for the people need my wisdom. I must read the portents and offer my knowledge. It was then that a young man called Avar lifted his voice. He was strong of arm and fleet of foot, though he was not yet a warrior of the Skal. I will go, said Avar, and the Skal laughed. Hear me out, the boy continued. I am having a Lord of the Rings vibe here. Frodo taking the ring. I am not yet a warrior, so my sword will not be needed. I cannot read the portents, so the people will not seek my counsel, and I am young and not yet wise in the ways of the law. I will retrieve the gifts of the Allmaker from the Greedy Man. If I cannot, I will not be missed. The Skal thought on this briefly and decided to let Avar go. He left the village the next morning to retrieve the gifts. Avar first set out to retrieve the gift of water, so he traveled to the water stone. It was there the Allmaker first spoke to him. Travel west to the sea and follow the swimmer to the waters of life. So Avar walked to the edge of the ocean, and there was the swimmer, a black horker sent from the Allmaker. The swimmer dove into the waters and swam very far, and far again. Avar was strong though, and he swam hard. He followed the swimmer to a cave, swimming deeper and deeper, his lungs burning and his limbs exhausted. At last he found a pocket of air, and there, in the dark, he found the waters of life. Gathering his strength, he took the waters and swam back to the shore. Upon returning to the water stone, the Allmaker spoke. You have returned the gift of water to the Skal. The oceans again will bear fruit, and their thirst will be quenched. Avar then traveled to the earth stone, and there the Allmaker spoke to him again. Enter the cave of the hidden music, and hear the song of the earth. So Avar traveled north and east to the cave of the hidden music. He found himself in a large cavern, where the rocks hung from the ceiling and grew from the ground itself. He listened there, and heard the song of the earth, but it was faint. Grabbing up his mace, he struck the rocks of the floor in time with the song, and the song grew louder, until it filled the cavern and his heart. Then he returned to the earth stone. The gift of the earth is with the Skal again, said the Allmaker. The lands are rich again and will bear life. Avar was tired as the sun burned him. The trees offered no shade, and there was no wind to cool him. Still he travelled on to the beast rock, and the Allmaker spoke. Find the good beast and ease his suffering. Avar travelled through the woods of the Insinfjör for many hours, until he heard the cries of a bear from over a hill. As he crested a hill, he saw the bear, a falmer's arrow piercing its neck. He checked the woods for the Falmer, for that is what they were, though some say they are not, and finding none approached the beast. He spoke soothing words and came upon it slowly, saying, "Good beast, I mean you no harm. The Allmaker has sent me to ease your suffering." Hearing those words, the bear ceased his struggles and laid his head at Avar's feet. Avar grasped the arrow and pulled it from the bear's neck. Using the little nature magic he knew, Avar tended the wound, though it took the last bit of his strength. As the bear's wound closed, Avar slept. When he awoke, the bear stood over him, and the remains of a number of the Falmer were strewn about. He knew that the good beast had protected him during the night. He travelled back to Beast Rock, the bear by his side, and the Allmaker spoke to him again. This is turning into the Jungle Book. "You have returned the gift of the beasts. Once again the good beasts will feed the Skal when they are hungry, clothe them when they are cold, and protect them in times of need." Avar's strength had returned, so he travelled on to the tree stone, though the good beast did not follow him. When he arrived, the Allfather spoke to him. "The first trees are gone and must be replanted. Find the seed and plant the first tree." Avar travelled again through the Hurstang forest, searching for the seeds of the first tree, but he could find none. Then he spoke to the tree spirits, the living trees. They told him that the seeds had been stolen by one of the Falmer, for they are the servants of the adversary, and this Falmer was hiding them deep in the forest, so that none would ever find them. Avar travelled to the deepest part of the forest, and there he found the evil Falmer surrounded by the lesser tree spirits. Avar could see that the spirits were in his thrall, that he had used the magic of the seeds and spoken their secret name. Avar knew he could not stand against such a force, that he must retrieve the seeds in secret. Avar reached into his pouch and drew out his flint. Gathering leaves, he started a small fire outside the clearing, where the Falmer and the ensorcelled spirits milled. All the Skal know the spirits' hatreds of fires, for the fires ravage the trees they serve. At once the nature of the spirits took hold, and they rushed to quell the flames. During the commotion, Avar snuck behind the Falmer and snatched the pouch of seeds, stealing away before the evil being knew they were gone. When Avar returned to the tree stone, he planted the tree in the ground, and the Allmaker spoke to him. "The gift of trees is restored. Once again, the trees and plants will bloom and grow, and provide nourishment and shade." Avar was tired, for the sun would only burn and the winds would not yet cool him, but he rested briefly in the shade of the trees. His legs were weary and his eyes heavy, but he continued on, travelling to the Sunstone. Again the Allmaker spoke. "The gentle warmth of the sun is stolen, so now it only burns. Free the sun from the halls of Penumbra." So it's like very hot. Penumbra, the halls of Penumbra, that sounds epic. And so Avar walked west over the frozen lands until he reached the halls of Penumbra. The air inside was thick and heavy, and he could see no farther than the end of his arm. Still, he felt his way along the walls, though he heard the shuffling of feet and knew that this place held the unholy beasts who would tear his flesh and eat his bones. For hours he crept along until he saw a faint glow far at the end of the hall. There, from behind a sheet of perfect ice, came a glow so bright he had to shut his eyes, lest they be forever blinded. He plucked the flaming eye from one of the unholy beasts and threw it at the ice with all his might. A small crack appeared in the ice, then grew larger. Slowly the light crept out between the cracks, widening them, splitting the ice wall into pieces. With a deafening crack, the wall crumbled, and the light rushed over Avar and through the halls. He heard the shrieks of the unholy beasts as they were blinded and burned. He ran out of the halls, following the light, and collapsed on the ground outside. When he was able to rise again, the sun again warmed him, and he was glad for that. He travelled back to the Sunstone, where the Allmaker spoke to him. "The gift of the sun is the Skal's once again. It will warm them and give them light." Avar had one final gift he had to recover, the gift of the winds, so he travelled to the Windstone, far on the western coast of the island. When he arrived, the Allmaker spoke to him, giving him his final task. "Find the greedy man and release the wind from its captivity." So Avar wandered the land in search of the greedy man. He looked into the trees, but the greedy man did not hide there, nor did he hide near the oceans or the deep caves, and the beasts had not seen him in the dark forests. Finally, Avar came to a crooked house, and he knew that there he would find the greedy man. "Who are you?" shouted the greedy man, "that you would come to my house?" "I am Avar of the Skal," said Avar. "I am not warrior, shaman, or elder. If I do not return, I will not be missed. But I have returned the oceans and the earth, the trees, the beasts, and the sun, and I will return the winds to my people, that we may feel the spirit of the Allmaker in our souls again. And with that, he grabbed up the greedy man's back and tore it open. The winds rushed out with gale force, sweeping the greedy man up and carrying him off far from the island. Avar breathed in the winds and was glad. He walked back to the windstone, where the Allmaker spoke to him a final time. You have done well, Avar. You, the least of the Skal, have returned my gifts to them. The greedy man is gone for now, and should not trouble your people again in your lifetime. But he is not gone forever. Your Allmaker is pleased. Go now, and live according to your nature. And Avar started back to the Skal village. And then what happened, grandfather? What do you mean, child? He went home. No, when he returned to the village, the child continued. Was he made a warrior, or taught the ways of the shaman? Did he lead the Skal in battle? I do not know. That is where the story ends, said the grandfather. But that is not an ending. That is not how stories end. The old man laughed and got up from his chair. Is it not? And that's the end of it. That was actually one of the most entertaining books I've read, because it tells a quite basic story, but the way it is being told is, what is the right word for it? Don't know. I'm out of words, really. But it sucks you in, right? Let's exit and let's get the hell out of this home before I get arrested again. We don't want to happen that. Let's leave. Alright, apparently nobody saw me. But I'm not going back into that house, because I don't really know how the mechanisms work. I always have the feeling that if I wander too long in a house where I'm not supposed to be, the guards will come eventually. We've got where we came for, so let's leave it at that. And now the quest. It leads outside the Imperial City. Roland Genseric's cabin. Not too far though, but I'm not doing that right now. At this point, I want to go back to Salador's house, just to tell them of my progress. And after that we'll see. Who the hell are you? Roman Christophe? Oh, you. Am I going the right way? Salador, yes. Let's talk to the creepy vampire hunters. Or vampires themselves. Who would know? Guess we'll find out. Not now, but later.
A letter, eh?
Yeah, I have it with me.
I believe that Greythroat and Gillen may have more information for you regarding these creatures.
Why didn't they tell me that earlier?
I wasn't aware he had a cabin outside of the city. Perhaps that's where he lures his victims. Be careful. He may have others with him.
That's foolery.
I'm afraid we cannot go with you to this remote location. Fighting is not our specialty. Watch yourself. Vampires are known to be crafty.
Oh, I don't trust this one bit. I don't believe.
Who knows when Roland may strike again?
Yeah, I don't.
You must hurry.
Yeah, I don't think Roland is a vampire. Something is very off. I haven't found a clue in his house. I didn't expect it thoroughly, I guess. But there's something off. Let's talk to them.
My knowledge is at your disposal.
Now they know more all of a sudden.
I've learned some more information. Vampires are immune to paralysis spells and common diseases. I hope that helps in some way.
Yeah, I guess it does.
Odd. A cabin is an unusual hideout for a vampire. They prefer dank caves and the like. Much darker, and no need to block out windows.
Yeah, or basements, huh, Gillen? Creepy eyes. It matches your clothing, though.
Vampires are clever, so watch.
How can I be of service?
You have more knowledge as well? Sure.
Vampires have a weakness to fire. You may wish to use this to your advantage.
I have a fire spell, so that's good.
If I were you, I'd go to the cabin in the daytime. That way, if he begins to overpower you, the outside can be a sanctuary.
That might actually be one of the most good advice bits of pieces.
Ever vigilant, vampires are creatures of deceit.
Of these three guys, I trust him the most. Maybe it is because he's an Argonian, and I tend to trust him more like humans. But I'm not sure why. Why would a vampire tell me their weaknesses? But still, I do not believe them yet. But
Anything you require.
where is your bodyguard? Is he out? Is he upstairs? Is he going to that cabin? Alright, so what will I do at this point? We need to talk to Jensine for the other quest we acquired, but since we're closer to the other districts at this point, especially the Arboretum, I will go there and explore there. Continuing sightseeing in the city. So I've heard good things about the Arboretum. There's supposed to be a pretty garden over there where people can relax. I'm not sure if there are any residents to that place. Where is it? To the right. But let's find out. It's still a little windy. 10 PM. Dark. Cloudy. But no rain or thunder yet. Looks nice. Columns, statues.
Is there a problem?
And of course, Imperial watch people everywhere.
Move along.
Yeah, let's start over here. South Watchtower. It leads to the temple. Okay, we've been here. This is where the magic
Hail,
land.
good citizen.
Whoa!
How can I be of service?
Damn, you've freaked me out. Are you the corrupt one?
There's no problem, is there?
Oh, there might be. I can't press him on that.
Farewell, citizen.
Let's leave. He's creeping me out. Yeah, let's follow this route. This is like the park or something. The city park. I'm going to have a look at that statue because he's holding a dragon. A dragon on his arm? Shoulder? Coming out of his shoulder? How does that work? Or is it a goat?
Hello. Any friend of the Society is a friend of mine.
Ah, you're one of the salesmen.
Thorinir wasn't responsible for digging up those corpses, but good riddance to his insane prices. Nice job.
Yeah, thank you. He has a weird face.
You too.
Bit of a baby face. Okay, what do we have here? Gandalf, a staff, and some... What is that? A headband? It's a cool beard, though. Too bad there aren't any plaques or something. Going for an evening stroll, people?
The Altmer have powerful wizards. Could be a dangerous situation.
Shut up.
Go ahead, please.
Viator.
Be seeing you.
Why is he wearing
You have my ear, citizen.
a cooking thing?
Hello again.
Oh, you're the one... No, that was Irene Metric. I was gonna say you're cheating with another man, another husband's wife, wife's husband. That is it.
Thorinir didn't turn out to be such a bad fellow after all. I'm glad he decided to join the society.
Yeah, good for him, huh?
Bye.
Claudette. This
Hail,
leads
good
to
citizen.
the city
How can I
isle.
be of service?
Where does it lead, though? Ah, the arcade. Oh, okay, that's where the Mages Guild is. Alright. Yeah, for now I will wrap up this episode. And the next time I will check the rest of this district. And yeah, move along from there, I guess. Yeah, you know what the hell, let's finish up. This doesn't look like a big district to me. So let's keep exploring. Looking at the statue, you're a woman, quite busty at that. I can even see the nipples on your boobies. You don't look like a human. Who are they supposed to be? Ayleids? You're holding a rope. Pretty big breast as well. Some kind of amulet on your neck. Yeah, let's go here over a bit. This is Southeast Watchtower. This leads to the Arena District. So I've been here before.
What is it, citizen?
Nothing. Just move along. Yeah, I like this garden district. It's very peaceful. Especially during daytime, I wager. Arena district. Hey, what is this? What do we have over here? Southeast Tunnel. We definitely will check that out. You're wearing a goblet. You're a monk with a very long beard. You're another wizard with a pyramid, a triforce in your hand. Good. Link is upon us as well. I'm very curious to see who the dude in the center of it all should be. Green Emperor Way, more pools. And you are wearing an anvil? Do you represent strength? This lady looks like a dancer or something. And I guess this is where we started. Yeah, this is the guy with the goat on his shoulder. Something in that corner? Not really. So in that case, let's check out the inner circle. Who are you supposed to be? What time is it? 12 AM. I would like to see this place during daytime. You must be an emperor or something, a warrior, a wise man. Yeah, with that I've explored the Arboretum. Maybe the next time I'll wait for daytime to see what's going on here, who walks here and stuff. And I will check out this tunnel. A tunnel that might lead to the sewer, but it isn't named sewer, so we'll explore it next time. Until then.